Hey y'all, for today's video I'm going to show you, I went over it a bit in my get ready with me video, but I'm going to focus more on the head and how I made it for Sam so that you don't have to watch that whole video just to figure out how to make Sam's head. So first thing people care about is the shape. How do I keep the spherical shape? This is a rat exercise ball. Didn't even know this was a thing, because I've never owned rats, but I have owned hamsters, so it's the same thing, just bigger. I ordered mine off of Chewy.com. I think it cost like $20 to $25, plus it had free shipping. Obviously you can go anywhere where you can find one of these. I'm just lazy and didn't want to leave my house. It shipped in one box, but when it came, it's in two parts, and as you can see here, this is where the two halves snap together. This is the hole where the lid is. I've since lost it, so I obviously don't put a rat in here. But this is where I put my head in and out of. And what I did was, if you see these slits for the rat to be able to breathe, I just picked one and I cut like this little bit here and this little bit up to the halfway point here, so that way most of the cutting was done, because it was the slit here, and that's how I got this. And then I just kind of eyeballed it and picked a difference. I figured I'd go smaller because it's always easier to fix, but I did the same thing here. And then once I had the two, the whole thing just unsnapped, because remember I said it snapped together, so the whole thing just unsnapped. I added, well, first I sanded it down a little bit, and then I added duct tape to just try to keep the sharp edges from touching me, because this is where I put my head in and out of. And the whole reason this exists is because it doesn't fit if you just use that, so you have to make a little bit more space for yourself. So normally I have my hair up in a bun when I do this, but I'm being lazy. All I do, oh, there's itches. I pull it over, and that's it. It's a bit loose, but what I usually do is, I'm gonna take it off now. Okay. What I usually do is when I have my hair in a bun, I wear it up here, and it kind of pads out the extra space a bit. I realize that's not an option for everyone. That's just what I do to help keep it from moving around. And then it also stays sturdy because the mask part goes over it and then ties I just use normal rope to tie it shut, and that helps pull it tight. Here's the mask itself. This is the shape. It is doubled up. It's double layer because one layer was a bit too thin, so it's doubled up. It's about a half circle-ish, kind of, maybe a bit bigger. And so what I did is I flipped it. It was like this. I sewed the shape, just kind of eyeballing it, made sure that it fit on that. Ooh. Flipped it this way so that the pretty seam is out. I took some of this twine looking stuff, and it's what I used on the detailing for down the middle of the head, or the face, and it's also the same thing for the smile, and it's the same thing I used to put the eyes on. The eyes are just buttons. I couldn't find the right color and type of button, so I bought, these were actually brown, and I had to spray paint them black. And Sam's eyes do a crisscross to keep them on. These only had two small ones here, so I had to drill more holes to put them on this way. Pretty simple. It's just an extra step to have to do, so if you can find buttons that work on their own, just buy those ones. This was just because I'd been looking for weeks and couldn't find anything, so I finally just bought these ones and made them look the part. And so when that's on my head, this goes over it. And like I said, then I take the rope and the rope ties around my neck, which kind of gives it this shape when it's done. Visibility, it's better than what it used to be. When I first did Sam, I made a paper mache mask. I didn't use the mask is the same. What I used for the head shape is different. I had used paper mache. I had made that by using a dollar store beach ball, blowing it up, doing a couple layers. I think I did 4 or 5 layers of paper mache, letting it dry in between each. Waited a day for it to finish fully drying, popped the beach ball inside, carefully pulled it out, and the paper mache kept the sphere shape. I then cut a hole for my face, a hole for my neck, and then I did a slit up the back, kind of what this big cutting piece I was talking about is, kind of like that. But with how many times I wear this costume and living in Florida in the heat, it was slowly starting to like deflate and die. And instead of just making another one and having to do that every single time, I decided to look for a more permanent solution, which is where I came up with this. This is much better because one, the paper mache you can't see through, and this you can. So while visibility isn't amazing, because you're wearing doubled up burlap over it, it is significantly better than what it had been when it was the paper mache. I can also breathe better, and I can hear better as well, because the other one, it like echoed a lot because there were no slits. This one, having the slits all over, helps. Hearing's not amazing. Again, I wouldn't walk around, traffic. I would wait till you get to the convention if you're wearing this to a con to put the head on, which is what I always do. I'll have the onesie on and everything else, and I'll just carry this stuff with me until I get in there, and then I'll put it on. And I think that's about it. Yeah. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I will do my best to answer them if I can, or link you to whatever I use to buy it instead.